Hi cakers! Today I'm going to show you how to make this beautiful princess cake. We're going to start by making this gorgeous tiara out of icing, and then we're going to be placing it onto a stunning pink ruffle cake. This is such a pretty cake and I'm really excited to share it with you. So to make our tiara, we're going to need firstly a tiara template. I've got the details below for you to follow the link and get your own copy. I also have a tin of fruit. I have some parchment paper as well that I've cut down so that it will fit perfectly around our tin, as well as some sticky tape. Then I also have some grey fondant that I've added some Tylose into just to make it a little bit firmer. You can also go ahead and use gum paste if you prefer. I have some shortening so that our tiara won't stick, a pizza cutter, a craft knife, some sugar glue, as well as a paintbrush, and I have a clay extruder as well. I'm going to be using 2 different sizes of little circle cutouts for our tiara. Okay, now the first thing that I'm going to do is fold it over so that our tiara ends right butted up against the base of our tin. Then I'm going to take our template, place it around our tin, and then attach it with some sticky tape. Then taking our parchment paper or baking paper and doing the same. Okay, now once we have that, we want to make sure that our tiara really doesn't stick. So what I like to do is take some shortening and just rub it gently just where the template is. Now with this template, I'm stopping after the first curl because I find if you go much further than 180 degrees around, then it's going to be too hard to take off and you'll crack it. Okay, now laying our tin down, you can use non-slip matting if you prefer. I just find it's really easy to have the fondant container that I had out anyway and our shortening, and it will stay in place. Now I'm going to take some of our fondant that has the Tylose in it, and I'm going to also grab a little bit of shortening. Rub that on and mix that around, and I just find that that really helps with the clay extruder so that it doesn't stick. Roll it into a long sausage, take our clay extruder, place your fondant into it. We're going to take the larger circle that we have, place that into the lid. From there you can just start to tighten it up and it will slowly start to produce a little sausage of fondant. I like to let it rest on the countertop just so that it's not stretching, because otherwise it will progressively get skinnier and skinnier. Okay, take our pizza cutter and chop the excess off. And the first bit that I want to work on is just going along the base. Remember, coming across just to that first curl and doing the same on the other side. Now you want to take out the excess. Grab some more, little bit of shortening again, place your sausage of fondant in again and pipe out some more. Now this time we want it to curve up and around and follow that first one in the center. And now you want to go ahead and give it a chop. I like to blunt the edge just to make sure it's nice and soft. This side, blunt it, and then curve. Now you're going to take your sugar glue, join those 2 sections and down the bottom, and just press them together just for a moment. Now these ones are really long, so you want to start by curling up in the center, coming down, crossing over, and then curling it up. Mark out where you want and really carefully cut. It's quite easy to get your hand instead. Because the surface has the shortening on it, it really does help it to stick very easily. And then just apply some sugar glue wherever 2 bits of icing meet. Now I'm not going to go ahead and use anything on these lines here. I'm going to ignore those, which means I'm going to start working straight away on this edge bit. Finishing it off with a little bit of glue. Now switching to the smaller size, pipe out some more And then I'm just going to roll a ball, give it a little pinch and a flatten at the same time. And that will make a beautiful top centerpiece. Again, apply with some sugar glue. And then I'm also going to add a couple of little balls to the sides, applying glue to the edges. And now we can allow this to dry. Now the drying time, it's usually about a day or two. I really recommend leaving it for the 2 days if you can, or longer. What I do is for the first 6 hours or so, I allow it to sit like this. Then I rest the tin up and allow it to do the rest of the drying upright. Now once it's been drying for a couple of days, what I like to do is make sure that it's moving first. And usually if you just give it a little bit of a wriggle, and make sure it's coming away from the surface. And then I like to luster by just using a blush brush. And I do that while it's braced to the tin. That way, if I apply any pressure backwards, the tin is there to hold it. And then I'm just going to remove the jar, carefully pick up the tiara, and then dust the back. Now the cake I'm using is a 6-inch round cake, and I've gone ahead and already placed it onto a cake stand after doing its crumb coat. The reason why I'm doing that is because it's staying here with us. If you need to place it onto a cake stand later, it's obviously best to put it onto an 8-inch round cake plate first. Now I'm using a Wilton 125 piping tip, which is an extra large petal tip. I also have some of our sweet buttercream in a pink shade. I got that colour by using Sugar Flare Ruby. And now all I'm going to do is place some into a piping bag, not too much because you don't want to overfill your bags. I'm going to be placing the larger part of the tip up against the cake, keeping my hand fairly upright, but we're going to travel towards the side, going up and down as we go. And just go as far as you can make it and then stop. Once you reach the end, just travel over the top. And the key with this is really just to stop when you need to. And also to make sure that you're keeping your piping bag nice and straight. You don't want to tape it down at all because this is not meant to be coming down like a skirt. It's more like a tutu. Then have your end row on the side just come up over the cake a little. Then what you're going to do is switch, have the big part at the bottom, have it facing down, and go up over the top to keep the ruffles going along the top of the cake. And keep working your way in. And this is where you've got to love a nice turntable. A couple more and that's it. And then with very, very clean hands, we can place our tiara on top. And there you go, guys. We have a beautiful cake fit for a princess. We've covered how to make the tiara as well as this beautiful ruffle cake. Happy caking, guys. Please subscribe to the channel if you want to see more creations and give us a thumbs up if you liked this lesson.